goal. If there is no proper planning, you may not be able to succeed in whatsoever thing you are doing. You understand? So first, you have to make a decision and decide if it's actually where you want to go. For example, if you are working on Finland, I would suggest you just work strictly on Finland. But again, putting your eggs in one basket is not usually the best. You understand? To euros. Is it in dollars? No, let's look for in dollars. It's not usually the best. So you should always try to spread your wings. You get the point. Okay, now if we are talking at Finland, we are looking at Finland, then I would say that you said you had a budget of how much? Okay, a budget of 6 million to US dollars is equivalent to 9,700 and some few cents. So I think 6 million is already good enough for you to go with looking at Finland, because the bank statement for Finland, the main difficult part is when you have the admissions letter and you have to apply for the visa. The visa documents excluding the bank statement is nothing. You cannot apply. So the bank statement is a critical component of the visa application. And looking at your money, it's already above the money I'm checking here. It shows me it's 9,700 plus. You understand? And for Finland, if you must apply for a study visa or a residence permit, you need to have, for one person, a single person is 6,720 euros. So the money is already okay. You are good to go for Finland. Now, what you need to do is to look for a university. You get the point? Yes. Okay, now, another thing you should understand is these are things I have shared on my YouTube channel already. If you are looking at Finland, you need to understand that, first of all, the cheapest universities in Finland, excluding the vocational school, which is Valmia, the cheapest schools I know so far are applied science universities. You understand? Because there are universities of applied sciences in Finland, and there are normal university like states, like bigger universities, which include Helsinki, Lapland, and Turku and Tampere. You understand? But for applied science universities, you have schools like Savonia University of Applied Sciences, Novia University of Applied Sciences, and the other schools. You get the point? So these applied science universities are usually cheaper than the other schools. For example, they may not be able to reach 5,000 euros as tuition fee per year, because looking at the figures, they have increased the tuition fee. Savonia, last time I checked, or last year, was around 4,000 euros. You understand? I think 4,000, between 4,000 to 4,500. But the money has been increased looking at this year's application. Finland application, or let me say application to Finland, is going to start on January 4th. And the tuition fee has been increased already. Okay, now we are comparing applied science universities and normal universities like Helsinki. Applied science universities are the cheapest, like I told you. You understand? Though they do have scholarships, but looking at the scholarships is not really like significant, because if a school is charging you 18,000 euros, then they're asking you for 50%, or if they give you 50%, it means you are going to end up paying 9,000 euros. It is still expensive than applied science universities, because I think the maximum I think I was checking Savonia University the other day. Is it Novia? One of them has been increased from 4,000 to 4,500. You understand? So they are still the cheapest options you can get. And again, when you are looking at science courses, it's always advisable to go for applied science universities. You understand? Looking at advantages, on both, everything being equal, applied science is just the best. That's what I always advise international students to take, or what I usually advise them to take. So you get it now? Yes. Then another thing you were saying is what? We already talked about the schools. You made mention of something. Okay, tuition and housing. We are done with tuition, not so? Okay, now let's take a look at the housing. Housing is going to come from the universities because automatically, if they are giving you an admissions letter, of course, there will be important links like links for scholarships, links for maybe dates, important dates, and links for accommodation. So automatically, you may have the opportunity to book an on-campus accommodation following the links that will be given by your university when you gain admissions. That's how it is. Even if they don't have on-campus accommodation, all right, they will be able to have links for external accommodation because most universities in Europe, sometimes they usually have bigger options like links for accommodations and all the rest. And Switzerland, let me start with Switzerland. Switzerland, you know, the main issue with Switzerland is the issue of the bank statement as well. Switzerland, I think they need around, is it 12,000 Swiss franc? I can't remember, but when I calculated that money to franc CFA Cameroon money, it was running close to like 12 million in the bank account. Sometimes when you have the money, they will want to see it in your bank, in your own personal account. Sometimes you can still have a sponsor, but if you have a family member who lives in Switzerland, that is a great advantage for you. Yes, but just know that for Switzerland you will need at least 12 million, preferably 12 million. Let me put it that way. Okay, now Norway is you are going to be needing at least 13,000 US dollars for Norway because Norway is a blocked account anyways. The advantage for Norway and Germany over these other countries is that you are not paying tuition fee. You understand? Well, let me say in some of their public, let me say in their public universities, because private schools you have to pay for. But Norway, they will just need you just need to put, when you get the admissions, you have to put at least 13,000 US dollars in a bank account. I'm saying at least 13,000 US dollars because it depends on the city in which you want to study in, because Oslo is usually very expensive than Trondheim. You understand? A student studying at the University of Oslo and a student studying at Norwegian University of Science and Technology, they don't have the same bank statement. For example, like, you know, it is the university that is going to give you the bank account to put the money inside. You understand? So living cost is different in these cities. Bigger cities have higher living costs. Therefore, you are going to spend more money. You understand? So if you intend to study in Norway, you have to understand that Norway is gonna charge you. Norway is going to charge you at least 13,000 US dollars because the money is usually around 121,000, maybe 400 and something Norwegian krone. I don't remember, but just know that if you intend to migrate to Norway, you should have at least 13,000 US dollars. All these things I say them on my YouTube channel, so that is something you should know. And we talked about Switzerland, right? We talked about Switzerland. We just talked about Norway. And again, understand that in Switzerland, international students are only permitted to work after 6 months, except that maybe the laws are changing or are going to change this January or this 2023. But you should know that that is how it was before. Now, we talked about Norway. Norway is equal. Let me draw your attention to this. Norway equally, they are planning to implement tuition fee payment. Okay, so if you didn't know, you have to know now. Tuition fee payment has to come into Norway. They said because it was already in parliament, but they hadn't come to a compromise or a conclusion yet. So they said, from what I noticed, most of the universities said they have to be checking their websites from January. So they are going to indicate everything. But I think even if you have to pay tuition fee for Norway, it's not going to be like you are going to pay huge amounts of money. You understand? Probably they may just say pay small amounts. You know, Austria was, first of all, same like Norway. Sweden and Finland, they were equally same like Norway. But you cannot really say. It can still be possible that the tuition fee in Norwegian universities for master's degree programs may still be above 2,000 euros. We never can tell, so let's just expect something by January. I will be checking equally, so I will update you guys on the YouTube channel. Then again, that is for Norway. I think Norway is good, but if you have the chance to move to Norway as an international student, then you should go. Norway is a good place, all right? I know a family, a close family in Norway, not like it's not everything that we have to to voice it out. We have talked about Switzerland, we have talked about Norway, we've talked about Finland. Okay, I'm listening. Okay, Norway, I think rents in Norway, they are a little expensive. You may tend to spend up to like maybe 400, 500 euros a month, but it's advantageous when you are sharing the apartment, or probably you find accommodation that you can share with somebody. It is going to be perfect for you. It's going to be good. I think that way it is good. You get it. Yeah, it can be cheap, but accommodation in Norway, as I know, is not that cheap. In Europe, you can get accommodation for even 175 euros, 200 euros. I have friends in Germany that are paying accommodation for themselves. They are sharing with people actually, but at the end of the month, someone may still pay like 175 euros. Some people, yeah. When my friend traveled to Germany in 2020, I think 2019, late 2019, his rent was around 200 euros. So, and I think they were paying their apartment in total, was it 350 or 400? I think that should be a one room and a parlor or something. But that is how it is. But for Norway, you should expect something, yeah, above that. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, let me start with the issue of the assistance. For assistance, I don't know if you are talking about if I apply for schools to people or not. But if you're asking about that, yes, I equally do admissions. You understand? I equally do admissions only if I find a school, because I cannot tell you that I'm going to do an admissions for you in Finland in April. No, it is not possible, because I know the timeline for Finland is 4th of January to like the 18th of January. You understand? So, yes, I do that as well. Right now, I'm working with some guys for Canada for a community college. So that is it. Okay, now moving further. Yes, for Canada. It's for a community college, not a university. Uh, okay, okay, let me bring you to this. First, the tuition fee for those programs, the diploma programs, are at least they range between 9,000. Yes, that's the range. But what you are going to pay after you get admissions is just 500 Canadian dollars before you apply for the visa. You understand? Okay. Another thing you can do is sorry, not like you can do. I'm just explaining the advantages to you about the Canadian admissions that I'm doing presently. Okay, they have a lot of diploma programs. They will last some one. Okay, what happens is if you finish the diploma program, you have to enroll now into a university. So you get your legal papers steady. You know, Canada, when you are there, 2 years, you are already good to go. A lot of opportunities out there. You understand? Okay, now, then still for the programs, the documents we need is not really they are not complicated. I always prefer people with a bachelor's degree already, so that because a bachelor's degree, you know, the classification is a diploma, higher national diploma, bachelor's degree, master's. You understand? So if you have a bachelor's degree already, it will be easy to get you an admissions. You get for the Canada school. That is the Canada school I'm talking about. Transport and logistic management. Okay, transport and logistic. Okay, we have business and project management. This particular program like this, I have a student who got a visa from Abidjan, Ivory Coast. So he will be, I don't know, we spoke last time. I think he had already gotten the stamp because he was telling me he is going with his passport already. Then there is also let me finish, please. There is also a clinical laboratory assistant for the diploma programs. There is equally pharmacy assistant diploma. There is database development and administration diploma. There is a diploma in hotel operations and hospitality management. There is e-business administration diploma as well. There is occupational health safety administration and management diploma as well. Then there is personal support and child care diploma as well. Two more of the programs, which okay, there is one long-term care services administration and management. This one is equally diploma program. So like I told you, they all last for 1 year, some 1 year maximum, some 1 year 2 months. You get it? So, but sometimes you will still have to defend yourself at the level of the embassy. You have a bachelor's degree already, and why are you going again for a diploma program? Well, it's often it's sometimes profitable. You have to defend yourself because careers may change. You may decide to change your career path. You understand, and you may decide to go. Maybe you were working in your home country and you decided that you want to go for a diploma program so that you can increase your skills. You get the point. So these are some of the advantages you can give at the level of the embassy. But like I told you already, for the program, I already gave you the requirements and a list of some of the programs, the tuition fee, and how much you have to pay for before you can apply for your study visa, right? So that's how the Canada line functions. For bank statement for Canada, Canada is not really interested in this bank statement stuff. For Canada, you have to prove that you have properties back home. You have to prove to them that you would return. That is the first thing I want to tell you, that you will return after your studies. Canada don't like to hear people want to say, if you tell an embassy you are going to the country to go and remain, they will never give you a visa. You get the point. So Canada are looking, you have to prove to them that you are going to return back to your home country. All right, it is very, very important. And with Canada, they are always looking for things like, do you have properties? Do you have things back home? Do you have a wife back home? Do you have houses? Do you have properties and stuff like that? You understand? Before you prove that you have the money. You get. So and if you are proving that you have money, you have to be showing money which is more than your tuition fee or even double, because if you are paying 9,000 Canadian dollars a year, it means that your accommodation, your feeding, your transportation a year is equally going to be above that. So you need to show a lot of money, then you prove that you have these things, which will cost you. Of course, if you have a wife back home or a child, you have to prove that with birth certificate and stuff like that, maybe pictures, birth certificate, and all. You understand? And those are the type of things that will guarantee that you can come back home. With a child, you can go to Canada and you may decide not to come back, but you have to prove that you have properties or things that you control, stuff like that. You understand? That's for the Canada program. That's what I know is good for Canada in case you want to follow a Canadian program. You understand? But for success rate for admissions, which you are now relying on visa, I cannot say anything because I do not work with embassy. You understand? But what I know is if you provide sufficient documents, well, you may be lucky. Because to me, getting a visa to a particular country like Canada or US is not like you know what you are doing. It all boils down to luck and God. You understand? That's what I can say. Because sometimes, even if some people will still give the best reasons, they will never get a visa. You know what I mean? Yes. So sometimes they will still not get a visa. So I put it like it depends on you and it depends on God. Supply the right documents and you pray, you answer the questions at the embassy. Hopefully you will get the visa. But if you don't supply the right documents, that is the first problem you have. And again, if they are asking you, where is your school located in Canada? You are not able to give the location, which city or which town, which province.